The interview assignment is a $10 assignment, and you are going to interview a relative about their tastes in music. So, this is a way for you to get into what maybe influenced you, sort of by way of their influences when they were growing up. So, there is a template that you can choose to follow here. You need to include this information as much as possible, but you can add more, obviously. You can include the information as a podcast, or you can do an audio recording or a video recording, or you can just type it out. So you're going to interview a family member who's influenced your taste in music. So while this is often a parent or guardian, it might be a close relative or family friend. So you're going to use the table below to guide your interview, but you can add or change any questions that you wish to. You can complete it, like I said, as audio or video, but make sure the reflection questions at the end are included in the recording or attach this as well. So you're going to go through the name of your family member and what their relationship is to you. So again, it could be a close friend or relative, their date and location of birth, and what they like to listen to. Have their tastes changed over the years? I know most people's musical tastes evolve over the years. What is the first artist or band you can remember listening to? Can they read music? Did they ever play an instrument or sing? And were they ever involved in making music or performing in school or outside of school? What live musical events have they attended? So this could be concerts, festivals, musicals, live theater, churches, that kind of thing. What's on your musical bucket list? So what's a band or an artist that you want to see somewhere? For me, one of my bucket list musicians is Stevie Wonder, and I was very lucky to have an opportunity to see him a few years ago in Toronto, and the concert was incredible. But previously, if someone had said, "Who's the one person you really want to see live?" That's what I would have said. So, who's that one artist that they really want to see? How do you think your musical tastes have influenced me? So, you're asking that person, do they think their tastes have influenced you and how? So I know I like a lot of the things that my parents listened to growing up because that's what I was exposed to. And a lot of those songs I remember all the lyrics to because I heard them a lot growing up. And I know my kids enjoy the songs that I listen to for the most part because that's what they hear all the time. And then is there anything else you want to share? So, for your reflections, you want to talk about how you think you were influenced by your interviewee's musical tastes. What did you learn that you didn't know before this interview? And what kind of musical influences do you think you're going to pass on someday? So again, this doesn't necessarily have to mean children. This could mean to a close friend's child down the road, or another family member, or a younger sibling, perhaps. So think about all of those different things when you're filling this out. There is your success criteria here that you can access. And basically, the simple interview is going to get you a level 3. So your questions have all been completed. They've all been completed. You've included an appropriate person. So, like, don't pick your boyfriend or girlfriend because they have not had long enough to have an influence on you musically in more than just a small kind of amount. So, for level 4, for your excellence, the interview was completed in such a way that the answers are thoughtful and there is a strong understanding of the musical history of the subject. Now, if you are interviewing someone and they don't give you a great answer, it's your job to ask more questions to get a deeper answer out of them. So if they say, I don't know, or I don't remember, you can start to provide suggestions that might help them remember. Or you can reframe questions. So if you say, what was the first musical experience you had, and they don't know, that's when you start to ask questions. Did your parents sing to you when you were a child? Do you remember any bedtime songs that they sang? Did you go to church and you sang songs there? Like, what is it that you remember? And see if you can pull that out of them. It might be, what was the first CD you bought? Depending on how old they are, it might be the first tape they bought, or record, or 8-track, depending on how far back you're going. And then the reflection questions are answered in a way that shows the connection between you and your subject, and it outlines the impact of their musical tastes on you. Also, think about the way that you're presenting it. If you're just sending in a typed transcript of the interview, it's not as interesting. So you want to make sure that you're presenting it in an interesting and engaging way if you are looking for a level 4. As always, if you have questions, preferably go to D2L, general discussion, and then go to the general question area and you can submit a question or you can send an email.